Ferrocement is thin shell of cement commonly reinforced with chicken wire. It has many applications, but I use it to build water tanks that collect rainwater. We begin with constructing the form that we will use to create the water tank. This water tank will use a 4-section form. Once we know the tank's radius, we can begin making the pattern for the form. Using the pattern, we cut the boards into shape that will help create the cylinder body of our tank. This board will be the top and bottom of our 4-section form. We nail the top and bottom board together with stud and finish the section by nailing the plywood into position.
And it should be slightly going this way too.
Water tank can be as big as 10,000 liters or more. So the foundation must be strong, secure and firm. When clearing the land for the tank's foundation, make sure to clear a slightly larger than the area of our water tank.
Now inside this,
using the form as a guide, we prepare the steel reinforcement for the concrete foundation.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, around that.
At each intersection of the rebar, we must place a small piece of wire. These wires will help connect the wire reinforcement for the sides of the water tank after the foundation has been poured. The concrete foundation is 1 part cement, 2 parts sand, and 3 parts gravel.
Something like that. It's not too high, okay? That's enough.
We then pour a second layer to smooth the foundation using 1 part cement and 5 parts sand. As the foundation set, we can begin to form the dome-shaped lid of the water tank. The radius of the lid should be 2 to 5 centimeters longer than the radius of the tank. The height of the dome should be about 1/4 of the radius. Using a plywood or timber form, we can create a near-perfect dome out of dirt, which will be used to shape the lid.
Yeah, like that.
Make sure to lay down newspaper or plastic to
long.
prevent the cement from mixing with the dirt. Like the foundation, steel and wire are used to reinforce the cement mixture. 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand. The hole in the lid is where the rainwater will filter into the tank.
Thickness is about...
The hole should be about 60 centimeters in diameter. The lid is left to dry and we return to the hardened foundation. The sections of the form are now pieced together and we can begin building cylinder wall of the water tank. When the 4 sections are nailed together, a single stud called a key lock is placed at one of the seams. This key lock will allow us to deconstruct the wood form after the cement wall hardens. On the top section of the wood form, we place a circle of wire. This wire can be rebar or several round or smaller one. This will reinforce the lip of the water tank. Using the exposed wire that we left in the foundation, we then connect the base wire to the top. When the vertical wire is in place, we wrap wire around the body of the cylinder from the bottom up. With the wire in place, we apply the first layer of cement for the cylinder wall. For the wall, the mix is 1 part cement and 3 parts sand. It is important to note that the sand must be sifted and free of soil. The first layer of cement will dry for about 2 hours, and then the second layer is applied and smoothed. Let the cylinder wall dry for about 12 hours. Once the wall has dried, we must take out the wood form. We begin by taking out the key lock. We knock each section of the form inward, being careful not to break or crack the cement wall. After each section of the wood form is removed, we can begin plastering the inside of the tank. Using a mixture of 1 part cement and 2 parts sifted sand, we apply 2 layers of plaster to the inside of the tank. We finish the inside with a thin layer of cement and water mixture to seal the tank. When the wall of the tank is dried, we can install the water outlet. We chisel a small hole in the bottom of the tank. Insert a short piece of PVC pipe and then seal into position with concrete. After the water outlet is properly installed, we can place the lid on top of the tank. We then plaster the seams between the lid and the body of the tank. This will help prevent contamination. The final step is to place the filter in the opening of the lid. The seam between the lid and the filter must be sealed with plaster. After a few days of rain, the Ferrocement water tank will provide clean drinking water for years to come. It is important to cure the tank, meaning that we must allow the cement to dry slowly by pouring water into it at least every couple of hours for the next 7 days.